It's funny because I said to myself, I'm kind of on a roll. I did this first one this morning and now I'm on a roll. So, speaking of which, one of the topics is role reversals, and how do you deal with adult children? And so, here's a topic. Well, first off, I've been so busy this week, month, who knows, but these last few days, I decided that I would buy a backup battery for for the house. And so this is something that Tess and I talked about quite a bit. And we would debate the subject and do we really need one and so forth. And so I just finished a video where I installed this thing and I covered that whole issue of do we really need this? Can we afford this, or is it worth the money? So you do debate these things with any major purchase. And I did plenty of that. So, I ended up spending $5,000 on a backup battery, which I believe I can, map into the house. And when the lights go off, they'll come back on, ultimately. Now, that might cost me another 3 to 5,000. I don't know. But, yeah, it goes through my mind, oh my God, you're spending $5,000 on a backup battery. So, I thought, well, I'll tell my kids, because I was real happy about it. I was real proud of it. But when I told Sam and Lauren came back, oh, well, how often does your electricity go out? I thought that was the only time it went out was Hurricane Helene. And, I know what she's really thinking is, Daddy, how can you spend this kind of money on something? I mean, you shouldn't be spending your money on things. And I don't know, and I'm imitating, I'm pretending I don't know how she really feels, but I didn't pursue it with her. But the thing here is, and it was just in a text, but the thing here is, do your kids have the right to question what you spend your money on? And I mean, yeah, the big answer maybe is yes, if you're wasting your money or spending it foolishly, or, especially if you're getting ripped off or whatever. I mean, your kids are, your biggest part of your life, so you do respect them. But when do they encroach on your independence and you're the adult, and, you've made all the decisions to get us here. And obviously, a lot of them were good. Not all of them were good. But the point is, now that I'm in my 70s and she's in her 40s, and she's a professional and she's knowledgeable, does she know better than me for making, certain big decisions? And no, not really. And it's really not, the debate isn't whether or not she would make better decisions or worse decisions. I think the question is, you feel this sense of, this kind of encroaching role reversal of, well, yeah, you might be the father, but, I'm the up and coming, I'm the new generation. You're the old generation. Your day is done and my day is still coming up. And so, my point of all this is that instead of kind of feeling excited about it and sharing that excitement, it made me start double questioning what I had already questioned. Was it worth it? Is it something that I could afford, or something that's a good investment, or is it wasteful spending? And this kind of thing, which I feel like I had already covered that. But now with my daughter questioning it, it kind of put me on, it made me feel different, made me feel funny about it. Okay, so I think I've already kind of told her that, I can take care of myself, I can manage myself, and I don't know that that was a debate. I think before Tess passed away, we had some conversation about this, and, Lauren's pretty straightforward. She didn't want to, she couldn't afford to take off from work to take care of us or spend a lot of time doing those kind of things. And you don't want to be a burden to your kids. That's the truth. You don't want to be a burden to them, but you also don't want them to be over anticipating that or judging you before or unless or until you become dependent on them. So, with mom and I, poor baby, I mean, she passed away and she was carrying this cancer for probably months, if not years, that it was impacting her health and her ability to do things. But we just thought that was her getting older, and she claimed that's all it was. We didn't pursue treatment, and I think we made the right decision in the sense that we lived as normally as you can as you're getting older, without the whole focus being on this disease that kind of takes over your identity. So with me, I guess that is my biggest fear. I don't really have a fear. I don't have a fear of getting old. I do have a fear of becoming disabled. And when I say that, I mean unable to take care of myself. I'm not criticizing people that are disabled, but if I suddenly couldn't drive, couldn't take care of myself, became, again, going back to disabled, I guess, this would not be a good thing. And this, I think, is why I want to cling to every dime. I mean, I don't, money is necessary to live. I've got plenty of money to live. I don't have plenty of money if I suddenly had to hire 24-hour nursing and, couldn't feed myself. And, is there any likelihood of that happening? I don't know. Nobody really knows. But apparently I live in fear of that. Somehow I got to have this money just in case I become disabled. And God forbid my daughter have to take off from work or have to do anything to take care of me. And I agree with that. I would feel so out of my element. I mean, I couldn't stand having to take care of me. So I want to say to her, honey, don't worry about that. You don't have to worry about taking care of me. Daddy will take care of himself until he can't, and when he can't, he'll not be here. Now, that's just kind of a smug statement, but there's a lot of truth in my intention of saying that. I am not going to allow myself to become dependent on my daughter. Now, I live a very frugal lifestyle. I'm sitting here finger painting, talking to myself, talking out these thoughts with the theory that there are people out here maybe dealing with some of these issues, and maybe we can learn from each other. But, you raise your child to be self-confident. You raise your child to become an adult, even though you love them as babies, and you just want them to be that way. They're always going to be your little baby, even though they're an adult who, other people call them whatever, Mrs. Fuller or whatever, and Dr. Fuller. She's not quite a doctor, but she's pretty damn close. But, the point is that she's still my daughter, and so I am still her father, and I think that's the pressure or the sense of identity that I want to continue to feel, that I am the father. You may be independent of me, but I am also independent of you in the sense that I am fully capable of taking care of myself and making, good, adequate decisions. So I bought this damn battery. That's what this is about. I bought this battery. Yes, for the $5,000, hell, I could go stay in a great hotel for a few days if I needed to. It's not that. It's a matter of, how do you stay home and make your home comfortable and livable? And the answer is electricity. That's what it is. That's what we need. So this is a backup battery so that I don't have to go downtown and plug in. Even as much fun as I had during the hurricane, I thought about it like it's raining outside now and the lights flickered. What if the power goes out? Now, obviously, I have my headlamps, I have my stuff. But if the power goes out, I'm not going to get all excited about going downtown to plug in the rain and crummy weather. And so, that dawned on me too, that the hurricane situation was, very intense, but then it was over. And the beautiful weather in the following days kind of, camouflaged the reality of how devastating the storm had been. So, role reversal, I think it's almost like I said about the power of no. It's something you got to deal with in kind of a subtle, gentle way. And, you basically, I think you prove it by being it, by doing it. You don't say, hey, I'm independent, leave me alone. But you have to behave in a way that shows that you're responsible. And I don't want to become a number, big or small. How can I put that? I am, a guy who worked all my life. With my wife, we accumulated some things, and that's a good thing. We have enough, as my mom had said to me decades ago when I was looking to maybe do I have to take care of my parents. And so, that's the answer. I don't want to become a number where they're waiting for me to die to pick up on the number, or where they're waiting for me to live and be afraid that they're going to have to make all these sacrifices to take care of me. It's just a matter of, in effect, I have enough and I can take care of myself. We're going to be good. I don't want to argue about things. I don't not respect your opinion. Ironically, I would have loved to talk about this maybe with Sam. It probably will. He was very excited about it when I told him, because it's a fun thing. It's a techno thing. I'm a techno guy, and now like I said, I'm waiting for the next power outage so I can really use this thing. But the role reversal thing is very real. As we get older, our capabilities become diminished, and we may, find ourselves either temporarily or permanently disabled. And it's a kind of a scary thought. And, how do we prevent against it? Well, I don't know if we prevent against it, but how do we provide for it? Well, you do. And I know, she had asked me decades or years ago, do you have nursing home insurance? Their financial advisor, you need nursing home insurance. Well, who knows if he might have been selling it. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm saying no, that we don't. Now we're too old to buy it. And the point is, I just couldn't live in a nursing home. I mean, I say that and I mean it. I can live here by myself. I don't even know. I mean, I've even thought about a roommate. But, the point is, I can live here by myself and take care of myself. And that's my intention. If I were to be in a nursing home, I would have to be mentally disabled, because my own mindset, I just can't relate to it. Cannot relate to it. So, to my sweet darling daughter, no, I don't have nursing home insurance. Like I told her, I have resources. And does Elon Musk have health insurance? I doubt it. Why would he bother? I'm not Elon Musk, but and I have health insurance, and I have Medicare, and I have Social Security, and I need all those things. But I'm not going to go to a nursing home, and so I just want to be as independent as I can be for as long as I can be. And then when the lights go out, they go out. And I think they're going to go out right about now. Thanks for listening.